As if the Boston Celtics hadn't gone through enough seeing Gordon Hayward go down with that brutal injury in the season opener. Last night, the Celtics saw another one of their key players, another one of their key forwards in Jaylen Brown go down with what looked like a horrible injury. Now, as you can see, the injury itself may have looked worse than it actually is. I mean, Jaylen was able to avoid any injury to his neck and back area, which upon first viewing, that looked like might be the problem, but thankfully he doesn't have any of those types of injuries. And it goes without saying, he was ruled out of the game with concussion-like symptoms, but the good news is he was able to walk off the court under his own power. He didn't need to be assisted off. He did look woozy, obviously, but clearly a concussion. At the current time, the only true update we have is from Jaylen himself, who hopped on Twitter last night to post a quick update. Appreciate everybody. I'm okay. Got a headache though. Good team win. Now, from my perspective, this seems like a tweet written by an NBA player, written by Jaylen Brown, which is a good sign. It wasn't written by somebody for him, maybe like a relative or somebody from the Celtics. And obviously, if he can handle his own phone and look at it and he's okay with the lights and all that, I don't think the concussion would be that major. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just speculating here. But something I'd assume the Celtics are considering, regardless of how serious the injury is, would be shutting Jaylen Brown down for the rest of the season to rest for the playoffs. And last night, the result the Celtics had in their game would allow them to do that, as they became the second team in the NBA to clinch a playoff spot after the Raptors did it a night prior. Their win was nothing to shrug off either. The final was 117-109 over the pretty good Minnesota Timberwolves. And I'll be honest, watching that game, the fourth quarter, the Celtics gave the T-Wolves no shot at winning. Their ball movement, their offense was so fluid. It's like the T-Wolves had no shot. The Celtics were just on fire. It was a balanced effort. Al Horford was good. Terry Rozier off the bench. Kyrie led them with 23 points, 8 assists. And honestly, with the playoff spot wrapped up, the Celtics are in a good position now to give Kyrie rest if he's feeling sore, to keep Jaylen Brown out of the lineup to rest up for hopefully a long run. Quick story that doesn't really have too much impact on what's going on right now, but I found it interesting. I'm sure you will as well, considering how much we've been talking about the New Orleans Pelicans and their win streak, which is up to 10 games. Draymond Green gave his thoughts on the Pelicans win streak versus the Rockets win streak.
Houston has had a good one, but I'm most impressed with New Orleans. You know, with some of the games they won, with some of the numbers that AD has put up, has been incredible. And then doing that without DeMarcus, I think there was kind of consensus around the world that once DeMarcus went out that they struggled. And yet AD's put them boys on his back.
Now, it's funny, the replies to this tweet and everything that I saw this video from, saying Draymond shook about the Rockets, but I honestly see where he's coming from. As much as Dre can be annoying and kind of an idiot sometimes, he's on point here when he says the Pelicans, they weren't supposed to win these games, especially without Boogie, but hey, they found a way, whereas the Rockets, they're simply living up to the hype of how good they are. Again, it's not important. I just found this story interesting. So what do you guys think? Is Draymond correct here? Are you more impressed with the Pelicans or the Rockets win streak? Following up with the story we had yesterday, it's a story that will not go away. The Lakers are now considered a long shot to land LeBron James in free agency. Now, that quote, that wording comes from ESPN's Ramona Shelburne in an article she wrote, which apparently a league source told her that James is simply focused on the Cavs right now, not worried about it, but somehow that makes the Lakers a long shot. Now, if you remember yesterday, we discussed the 4 teams that King James would possibly go to, being the 76ers, the Lakers, the Rockets, or remaining with the Cavs, and now possibly that's down to 3 teams, if this list even exists, and trust me, I am skeptical. Now, another tidbit from Ramona's piece that I enjoyed, other than the long shot quote, if someone is pretending to know what LeBron is thinking, they're guessing. How could anyone know when he doesn't even know? And that, folks, is why this is all just fun speculation and a fun story, because how would anybody know? I don't think LeBron knows. I'm sure he has an idea, but there's nobody that truly knows, yet we still have to keep talking about it because it's LeBron and potentially the Lakers. All right, probably the second most interesting game from last night, other than the Celtics game, was the 76ers and the Miami Heat, a game which pitted Hassan Whiteside against Joel Embiid, 2 of the most interesting players, and they're both big men in the NBA. Now, the matchup itself was dominated by Whiteside as his Heat won 108-99, and Hassan himself put up 26 and 8 to go up against Joel Embiid, 17 and 7. Neither huge stat lines, but clearly Hassan outplayed Embiid. Whiteside also had a huge dunk in which he hung on the rim a little bit extra, clearly to show up Joel and the Sixers, which, by the way, I love. That passion, that swag is what the NBA needs. Don't give technicals for stuff like that, although we all know Joel wasn't happy about the play himself. There was also a play in the, I think, third quarter, sometime during the game, in which the two got tangled up running down court, and Hassan appeared to throw an elbow into the back of Joel Embiid, to which Joel obviously reacted post-game. But then they called a technical on him because obviously he's the one that made a dirty play. He hits really soft. He tried to hit me in the back, which is kind of dirty because of the fact that I've had back problems. I won't forget that. Bruh, how good are these two, man? Joel, like, they're saying things that people usually don't say anymore. Like, I won't forget that. He tried to hit me. Now, I'm not here to determine whether Whiteside was intentionally trying to injure Joel. It didn't look like he hit him very hard, but obviously I can see where Joel's coming from as well. And honestly, this rivalry going back and forth, whether it be on Twitter or wherever, it's pretty entertaining. I think we can all agree on that. The still Kawhi Leonard-less Spurs were in Golden State last night, and they gave the Warriors a pretty good run for their money on home court. Ended up being a 110-107 winner for the Golden State Warriors. But there were two primary stories, one positive, one negative, to come out of the game. The first was the play of Kevin Durant, who put up 37 points, 11 rebounds on 14 of 26 shooting. He was awesome all game, including in the fourth where he scored 14 consecutive points to help close out the Spurs. He was awesome for the Warriors. But the second story, there is definitely concern coming out of this one in Warrior land, as Steph Curry left the game with a right ankle sprain. Of course, Curry, if you remember, missed most of December with a right ankle sprain, so it appears it was a similar type of tweak in the ankle. It is concerning news, especially considering Steve Kerr came in post-game and said he will not be joining the Warriors on their quick two-game trip to Portland and Minnesota. He's going to stay back in the Bay Area and work out with a trainer. Fortunately, of course, the Warriors have three other All-Stars, including Kevin Durant, to rely on. And in December, when Curry previously missed games, at one point they were on a 7-game win streak. So it's concerning for the long-term future of the Warriors, but they can get Steph some rest and they don't have to worry about missing a beat. Obviously, they're going to clinch a playoff spot any day here, but we will keep our eyes on that. And final note from me, Denver, Utah, and LA Clippers are all in action tonight, and why that's important is because those three teams are all within a game or tied for the 8th playoff seed. They're all battling in the West. It's so interesting, and that is why I made it my poll question today, which you can find over on my Twitter page. I'll show you the early results here. You can also vote in this video. It's pretty interesting, man. All three teams are kind of like underdogs fighting for probably who's going to get swept by the Warriors round one. I'm just kidding. They could do some damage in the playoffs, but which team do you think will make it? I hope it's Denver, man. I like watching Nikola Jokic and my boy Jamal Murray from Canada ball out. I mean, I guess if you really are passionate, really care, you could write in the comment section if you think the Lakers are going to make a run from like 6 games back. You tell me why. You tell me. Is Lonzo going to do it? No, but I'm sure there's some of you out there that think that. Yeah. But that wraps up another video today, folks. Thank you very much for checking it out. Continue leaving me feedback on what you think of these videos and on each of the topics. LeBron no longer going to the Lakers. Jaylen Brown's scary injury. Steph Curry going down, going to miss some games. And of course, that great race for the playoffs in the West. I love reading your guys' comments. Let's have more discussion in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Definitely subscribe if you're new for more NBA news videos. That's all I got for this one, guys. I'm Jay Canada. Stay golden.